GBTube, capital G, here another day, another disturbing and ridiculous play facilitated by the Danger archetype. I always knew that this archetype was going to be busted. That's why I was so definitive when Danger first kind of got revealed, and somebody sent me a duel of its kind of being mixed in with Dark World, and I was like, yep, this archetype is broken, no hard ones returns on all the effects in the hand. Konami definitely messed up with that, and I actually think that Danger is quite comparable to like the symbiotes from the Spider-Man movies, or I guess even the comic books or the show. If you guys are familiar with Spider-Man, like, you know, Riot or Venom, Carnage, the alien symbiotes, that they can't really exist without like a host. Danger is basically that. Danger can't really exist without Dark World or Phantom Knights or Dark Warriors or stuff like that, but when you combine Danger with those archetypes, the results are just absolutely ridiculous, as we see with the characters Venom and Carnage and stuff like that. And this is going to be one of the most unique plays that I've seen in my time. Now, I've seen a play like this, but I haven't seen it done this way. Well, you know what? I'll explain it a little later when we get to, you know, some of the parts that reveal what the play is going to be. Actually, there we go, straight off the top. There's your first piece of Exodia. So I've actually seen somebody draw all 5 pieces of Exodia with Danger, because there is Saryuja Skoldred, and obviously there are things like the beginning of the end, which, let me pause for a quick second. I told you guys in my banless prediction, the beginning of the end needs to go to 1. I just want people to keep in mind about that, but I don't think I've ever seen an Exodia play quite like this. This is going to be what I like to call the dual or double Exodia play. It's actually going to be pretty damn stupid. You're essentially going to kind of like semi-obliterate your opponent twice. We all remember Exodia Obliterate from, you know, the first episode in the anime, and this is really interesting, right? Because he's not really like being careful with his Exodia pieces, right? You see him sending them to the graveyard. You see him using card destruction. Like, whoa, Cap, what is this guy doing? Why would he use card destruction? You need Exodia in your hand. You don't need it in the graveyard. And there are things like Backup Soldier, a really old card, by the way, that can add normal monsters from your hand. There's, oh man, what's the other one? Something, it's a like mass production of Dark Factory, a mass production, I think, that does the same thing. That's a spell, but it's fine. You know, he's gonna go ahead and summon the head of Exodia. This guy, like, doesn't even know how to use Exodia. He's summoning the head, he's using it for link materials. He's like, Cap, I'm gonna use the link Exodia, man, I got this. So he continues summoning these pieces of Exodia. There's 1, there's 2. Now this is the interesting part, right? So he soul charges Exodia, and he's like, Cap G, I won the duel. I have assembled all 5 pieces of Exodia. GG no re easy. You can see right here, 5 pieces of Exodia. We got the right leg, the right arm, the head, and I like how he put them in. He put them in kind of like order. Although I guess the left, yeah, this works. He's got the left arm and the left leg, but then he realized, he's like, wait a minute. So I don't actually win the duel. Someone told me if I get all 5 pieces of Exodia that I win the duel, and it seems he has made a mistake. He has assembled all 5 pieces, but he has them on the field, and then he reads the card, and he's like, oh man, I gotta get them in my hand. Not even a problem, guys. He just activates this trap card called Sound of Retreat. Return all monsters you control to your hand, and easy GG. He ends up getting the 5 pieces of Exodia in his hand, and he wins the duel. He was actually just debating you guys the entire time. I like that. I've never seen someone actually summon all 5 pieces of Exodia and then put them all back in their hand to win the duel. That was actually pretty damn epic. So hopefully you guys enjoyed that nice little short display, and honestly I don't really think I need to show you the deck list, because for the most part it's literally just Danger, Dark World with the 5 pieces of Exodia and Sound of Retreat. You just want 1 copy of the card and hope to God that you hit it. If not, don't discard them Exodia pieces, because you might not have a win condition at that point, because you notice he only had 1 card left in his deck, so it's not like he was gonna live, you know, a couple more turns to try to make any link plays or whatever. Like, this deck is Exodia or bust. So again, hopefully you guys enjoyed the short duel. If you did, give the video a thumbs up. Thank you guys for watching. As always, subscribe if you have not already, and turn on the notification bell for daily videos. And you know what? I decided to actually go ahead and show the deck, because I will have a couple of people who are like, Cap G, I just can't visualize it. You gotta show me the deck list, even though really I feel like if I challenged you, just about every one of you could probably build this deck blind. You guys know the deal with the Danger archetype. Obviously, in decks like these, you're running basically every like Danger monster at 3. The only one that he's not running 3 of, well, a couple of of them are Danger Bigfoot and Danger Thunderbird. Obviously, there's no link spamming in here other than Saryuja Skull Dread, so it doesn't really make sense that like these big ones, you know, these are cards that like are spot removal, that pop cards. They're better really going second, and ideally you're going first. You're not really popping cards on your opponent's side of the field, and you're really only making one link monster, which is Saryuja Skull Dread. The other kind of usual suspects that I always see in Danger are cards like Brow, Shadow Beast, which basically is a Brow, but it's a hard once per turn, so don't run more than one copy. And then Zephyros the Elite, because Zephyros the Elite helps you bounce one of your Danger monsters to your hand and then reuse the effect. At the same time, it puts a monster on board for the Saryuja Skull Dread, and then when you finally get it into the graveyard, it is you know, fodder for the beginning of the end. And also, you know, same thing with like card destruction. I actually wonder how Konami could hit Danger as an archetype, because personally I think that having decks like this in the game is just very bad for Yu-Gi-Oh! Having, you know, this deck where basically like 35 of the cards are just kind of interchangeable. I mean, if you took out Exodia plus the you know, Sound the Retreat, you'd basically have a 34 card skeleton, and it's interchangeable between Danger Dark World FTK or this Exodia deck, or, you know, the Egyptian God you know, FTK that I showed you guys before. All of these decks run the same exact skeleton. Like 34 of the 40 cards are pretty much the same. I kind of feel like obviously the beginning of the end, you can limit that to one. I guess if you ban Soul Charge, that would help. I kind of don't want card destruction to get banned. I mean, it's so mean. We went like a decade without this card. I really don't want it to get banned so soon. So I kind of feel like, yeah, maybe you get Soul Charge out. Maybe you put the beginning of the end at one. I kind of feel like there's not any like great way, because people are like, oh, just limit Nessie and limit, like, are you just gonna limit all of them? I mean, that just seems so. I'm not really for like random hits, like, we'll put Danger, you know, Nessie at one or something like that. Like, I'd rather just kind of go after cards that don't really feel all that kind of random, because like, why hit Nessie instead of hitting, you know, like Chupacabra or something like that. But personally, I do feel like Konami needs to address this, because Danger is just too good of a draw engine as a whole.